Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti NURHADAINA binti RAZALI, metric number 272136. The Islamic financial system issue that I have chosen is Islamic banking transaction. First of all, that as we know is beginning with the establishment of Bank Islam in 1983. Islamic banking institutions have continued to grow and are able to offer competitive Islamic financial products and service not only to Muslim but also to non-Muslim. However, many Muslims still transact with conventional bank because they say that Islamic banks are also not Islamic or similar to conventional bank. Various allegations have been leveled to show that Islamic banking in Malaysia is un-Islamic. Among them are: first, IBI is not Islamic because the profit rate charged to customer is higher than conventional. Second, IBI use interest rates such as the base lending rate BLR as a benchmark to the profit rate. And third, the credibility of IBS Sharia advisor is disputed for receiving allowance from IBI. The first issue in Islamic banking transaction is not Islamic because it is expensive. For some, Islamic banking today is not Islamic because its financing rates are expensive. Among the misconceptions that occur in society today is that something that Islam must be cheap. If it is expensive, then it is not Islamic. It should be understood that Islamic financial activities include commercial activities such as buying and selling, renting, investing, and trading are activities for profit, while charitable activities include the practice of wakaf, zakat, and non-profit Qardul Hasan loan. An Islamic bank, the main source of fund is through deposit from individuals or institutions and funds from shareholder funds. Therefore, Bank Islam has a responsibility to ensure that the funds invested by funders provide returns that are worth at least comparable to the returns obtained by investors in conventional financial institutions. If the shareholders and depositors in IBI do not get a reasonable return from the investment made, it is very likely that they will withdraw their investment and choose an investment portfolio that promises better returns. If this scenario occurs, then IBI will not be able to grow sustainably, and it has capital problems in the banking business and may face the risk of winding down in the long run. If the IBI is not resilient, then the biggest loss is that the Ummah is exposed to a formidable usur. Bank Negara Malaysia has allowed Islamic bank to introduce variable financing method. Through this method, the Islamic bank will enter into a sale and purchase contract with the institution customer based on the selling price calculated based on the shilling payment price or shilling profit rate or contract profit rate. However, Islamic bank only asks customer to pay installment based on the effective profit rate, which refer to the current BLR. The difference between the shilling financing rate and the effective financing rate is the rebate given by the Islamic bank to the consumer. Bank Negara Malaysia Sharia Advisory Council has allowed Islamic financial institutions to provide rebates. It's IBRA in variable rate financing agreements, for example, monthly IBRA, which refer to the difference between the shilling rates and the effective rates. Thus, a rebate can be given on each installment payment to reduce the monthly installment to match the current market rates. Saying Islamic banking products are more expensive is not true. In fact, we need to be fair in comparing the future of Islamic financing and conventional loans. The future and privilege of Islamic financing are different from conventional products. The second issue is use of conventional price benchmark. The issue of the use of conventional benchmark such as BLR or KLIBOR has been commented on by Sharia scholars in and outside the country. Briefly, pricing benchmark means the benchmark or reference used in pricing profit rate for IBI. This means IBI used the interest rate as a benchmark in determining the profit rate-based financing rate for product developed based on certain Sharia akad. This benchmarking does not mean that Islamic bank charge ushur to consumer. At the same time, Islamic banking institutions are subject to market regulations or rules set by the central bank. The use of conventional benchmarks does not make Islamic financial product illegal as long as the product comply with strict Sharia standards and are approved by the IBI Sharia Committee and the BNM SAC. However, effort towards establishing an Islamic price benchmark should be made to refine current Islamic banking practice. Happily, this call was heeded when there was an international initiative to establish an Islamic pricing benchmark. And the last issue is conflict of interest of advisor of Islamic financial institutions. Some people feel unsure of the legitimacy of some Islamic financial institutions due to the credibility of the Sharia Advisory Council members in the financial institutions themselves. This is because some claim that because the Sharia scholar receive an allowance from the institution as well, then this will affect the justice of the scholar in making decisions. Of course, they will agree and approve all the products of the institutions without much question. Thus, he can further extend his service life at the institution as well as enjoy the allowance that enters his pocket every month. We all need to be fair in observing these issues. In addition to the need to study it from the perspective of Islamic law, while it is possible that the above allegations are true, however, it is not a general fact that applies to all Sharia members in every local and international Islamic financial institutions. Therefore, the act of publishing it and making it a public statement is not in accordance with Islamic law. If it is proven that someone has committed such as offense, Islam does not allow to be beaten or to blame one person on another without proof. This is also common in all corporate companies when each annual report and company operation need to be reviewed and audited by a group of external auditors. It is not wrong for an institution to give allowance to Sharia counselors, as the people give allowance to lead Caliph Abu Bakr also received an allowance for his duties as Caliph, as did the governors appointed in the time of the Khulafa ar-Rashidin. Therefore, it is highly inappropriate to automatically make all Sharia scholars who accept it as untrustworthy. In conclusion, the operation and service of Islamic financial institutions are still imperfect. Even this institution exists within the framework of an economic system that is still riba-based. It is also subject to industry rules and practice set by the central bank. At the same time, some expectations placed on Islamic banking institutions are unreasonable, let alone expecting Islamic banking institutions to become charitable bodies. Thus, the simplest view is to fully support the existence of Islamic banking institutions and avoid getting caught up in riba-based transactions. At least we are safe from the sin that God so hates, which is riba. That's all for me. Thank you.